Hey, what's up, Dirty Christian? So check this out. I just watched this new Buzzfeed video that they put out, and it is called "A Priest, a Rabbi, and an Imam Discuss Gay Rights, Abortion, and More." Now, I usually try to do a nice response video and do something like real quick and put something together and just make it nice and pretty and throw it on there. But I don't have the patience to deal with Buzzfeed anymore. So check this out. Here's my response to their Rabbi, Imam, and Priest discuss gay rights, abortions, and more. And I took a bunch of notes. So either this video was cut so badly to support BuzzFeed's agenda, or they literally found the worst examples of religious leaders from these faiths that I have ever seen. These people have zero clue about their scriptures. They are literally filling an agenda. They are doing exactly what our culture and society wants them to do. They are answering these touchy-feely things that are outside of Scripture in all three religions, not just Christianity. I'm blown away. There is one specific thing that they say in this. They say, and I'll get to it, but there's one thing that they say that just trumps everything that they've said. All right, so the first thing that they ask is pro-life versus pro-choice. The priest, when he looks at the video, he's like, I'm really pro-life because all life is important, but kind of just pro-choice because women's rights, these buzzwords that they use in everything media-wise. Not only that, but the video is actually cut so badly mixed together that I think personally that they took his video and cut it to specifically fill what they were trying to say. I don't think that he actually said the words that were said in the video. The way that it was cut, it was very specifically cut to take away from his actual answer. So I don't think that it's entirely accurate. The Imam then goes on to say, he asks about how do you express your disagreement with other religious beliefs, looking at the other two, the priest and the rabbi, but then never answers that at all. He never even addresses it again. So he makes a good point and then it's dropped off, and it's kind of like, oh yeah, he's going to make a point. Oh, okay, on to something else now. Then the Imam says, I think we can all agree that committing an act of violence is a transgression of the law and religious beliefs. There are definitely things in the Bible, in the Quran, and obviously the Old Testament for us, which would be mostly some of the scriptures that the Jewish people use, that would definitely be sinful. But an act of violence is a very buzzword, a very key word in our culture today. He's not addressing murder. He is not addressing killing. He is saying an act of violence. And if he's reading the same Old Testament that the Jews and the Christians are reading, God promotes a lot of different acts of violence. This is the most ridiculous answer. I'm just blown away. I'm overly frustrated now at this point with BuzzFeed, and I think they're doing this to me on purpose. Then, do they agree? Because he says committing an act of violence is a transgression of the law and religious beliefs, but nobody says that they agree or disagree. They're all just like, and that's it, and it's cut. Then they go into women's rights. Then the rabbi says that, and this is probably a small nuance, so this may actually not mean anything, and I'm okay with that. But the rabbi says that man and woman were created at the same time. Now, if she means by like the beginning of the earth, then sure. But they weren't created at the same time. Man was created, and then God said that it was not good for man to be alone, then decided to make woman. So it's probably just it's probably nothing, and I'm probably making a big deal over nothing. But I wanted to clarify that I think that when you speak scripturally, you have to speak specifically because of people like me and other people that cling to every word that you use in a public setting. And you have to make it clear and concise as you possibly can. Then the Imam says, and it's asking about, again, about feminism. He says Islam is actually a feministic religion. Then the Imam says that the religion spread to chauvinistic cultures. Then he says this. He says that after it spread to chauvinistic cultures, that we let culture trump religion. Okay, I want you to hold on to that for a second, and let me get through the rest of the points here. Homosexuality, Imam says, to be exclusive is against the values of Islam, and I'm not sure how he was addressing this within homosexuality, talking about exclusively male and female relationships, but Islam is probably one of the most exclusive religions out there. It's incredibly exclusive. Then the rabbi answers and says, I would say to the question of homosexuality, yes. Yes, what? Yes, it exists. Yes, people desire to be homosexual. Yes, that it's okay. Yes, what? I mean, it's vague. There's no answer here. This is a problem. Why are people not seeing this as a problem? The priest says, and that he sees homosexuality as an ongoing revelation and evolution of human relationships. What denomination is this priest? He says, and I quote, he says, it is a full expression of God's love in the world. He doesn't read the same Bible that I read. He doesn't read the same Quran that the Imam reads that talks about what to do with homosexuals. Now, the Bible is not talking about going to stone homosexuals in the way that the Quran does, but what scripture is he reading? Is your religion the only way? The priest says that many paths to the divine. And he obviously hasn't read in the Bible where Jesus says that I am the way, the truth, and the light. I am the way. Not I am a way. You have to take that completely out of the Bible for that to be true. The priest is echoing what the Pope is being accused of saying. So I think that we can expect to see this probably more in the future from the Catholic, at least some sects of the Catholic denomination. The Imam says that anyone who believes in God on the Day of Judgment is good, which is technically true based on what the Quran says, because the Quran recognizes the Gospel and the Old Testament as being scripturally accurate. So that is actually correct of him to say. So good on you, Imam. And then the rabbi goes off into some explanation, and at this point I'm just so frustrated by the answers that I've heard, I didn't understand anything that she actually said. So I want to go back to the specific thing that the Imam said about feminism. He said that when it would go into these chauvinistic cultures, this is another buzzword, okay? There's 3 buzzwords that we've seen in this video. Committing acts of violence, chauvinistic culture, and there was one more, and I know I said it earlier. So he says that it went into these chauvinistic cultures and that they let culture trump the historic significance of the scripture. I ask you guys, based off of all the answers that I saw in this video, I would say that that is the most ironic statement in this entire video. What do you guys think? Leave your comments, and wherever your comments are at, leave them in there. I want to hear what you got to say. God bless you guys, Dirty Christian. out.